Live interactive Weather Authority coverage, sponsored by Rennie's, for your next Maine adventure, will begin shortly.
Rennie's, a Maine adventure.
Your live interactive Weather Authority coverage, sponsored by Rennie's, starts right now.
All right, it's Thursday night, time for our forecasts, our weekend forecast, sponsored by Rennie's, of course. Yes, we have a little bit of wet weather to talk about for tomorrow. We have some wind to talk about. What else is new, right? We've had enough rainfall. At least it's not snowing, though. It's not going to be snowing late week. So last week when we joined you on Thursday night, we were talking about power outages, of course. It was last Wednesday night into Thursday that we had the big heavy wet snow event. And I'm on record for saying that was the worst tree damage I have seen since the 1998 ice storm. And I've heard some people say it's even worse than the 90 ice storm for inland parts of Maine, at least. And I think, just a guess, but I think that was destroyed more mailboxes, that wet snow last week, than any storm in the last 50 years. A lot of mailboxes went down with the heavy wet snow and the plows going by. So no snow this week. Thanks for joining us on the forecast. We won't keep you too long tonight here. We'll talk about some rain, some wind. There could be some scattered outages, particularly tomorrow morning. Nothing too crazy, though. What's happening tomorrow is we have a little system that will bring some heavy rain in the morning and some gusty winds. There's Lewiston, it's 44. Portland's 43. We've been at 43 since 3 o'clock this afternoon. There is a coastal flood advisory, kind of like last night and the night before. Astronomical high tides are producing some tides around 12 feet. Forecast tide tonight is 11.8 feet. Flood stage in Portland is 12 feet. So I don't think we're going to see anything too significant tonight as far as major flooding or anything like that. But some minor coastal flooding, splash over, beach erosion, that's all certainly possible in tonight's high tide. And that is around 2 a.m. So it's just after 2 a.m., I believe. This one's slightly bigger deal here. We need to keep an eye on the rivers tomorrow. A flood watch goes into effect at 2 a.m. Tomorrow and extends through tomorrow afternoon in Oxford, Franklin, Somerset County, Northern Carroll, Coos County. So what's happening here is we have 1-2 inches of rain. In addition to that, we're going to be looking at snow melt in these areas. Some of the more reactive rivers, the Swift River, Roxbury, the Saco River, Conway, those are both forecasts to get into minor flood stage. So we're not expecting major flooding, not like that we had in December or anything like that, but some minor river flooding is possible tomorrow. In fact, is likely for some of the more reactive rivers, the more shallow rivers, all that rain and the melted snow is nowhere to go except into the streams and rivers. So that's why we have the problems there. Hey, it's still raining. It's been a couple days since we've seen the sun, and there's the most latest batch of rain. Next one's this one right here, and that is moving up for the morning. Let's highlight 7 a.m. to noon on Friday for our heaviest rain. So here's what's happening. Here's the heavy bands of rain moving in during the morning. It's not going to last all day, though. It's a different type of rain. How does that sound? The afternoon will go from some rain to drizzle and maybe a few showers. So the afternoon's slightly better, but far from perfect. In the weekend, we still have that upper low hanging out over us. So more clouds, scattered showers are possible. My hope is we'll get some sunny breaks on Saturday. We'll see about that. But it looks like some scattered showers will linger Saturday as well. All right, let's go hour by hour storm tracker. Thanks for joining us tonight on Facebook, on X, and on YouTube. We're highlighting some heavy rain, strong gusty winds for our Friday morning. There may be some scattered outages. I don't think it's going to be a widespread outage situation, but ground's thawed out at this point. 40 mile per hour winds could produce some problems. If, this is a month from now when the leaves are out, then we're talking about a bigger deal, I think. Leaves can act like a sail, and let's hope all the weak branches have have broken at this point. We've had an interesting stretch. There's the heavy rainfall in the morning. That 55 might be a little generous. Low 50s, somewhere 52, 53, 54 degrees. We'll be in that ballpark tomorrow. But our strongest winds are probably mid-morning, somewhere in there. 7 a.m. to noon, we'll get into wind gusts of 35 to 45 miles per hour at the coast. Inland areas will get some gusts around 30 miles per hour, I think. But there's your heaviest rain. Don't be surprised to get a rumble of thunder. That's possible as well. And that would be during the morning hours. There goes the heavy stuff. It's moving off to the north. So again, a different type of rain moves in by afternoon. We're just left with drizzle and maybe a few showers. So the best part of Friday will be the afternoon. And the wind starts to relax a bit as well during the afternoon. It stays gusty, but it's not going to be as strong as the morning. And Saturday, I'm hopeful for some sunny breaks. We should get some of those. Those winds shift over to the northwest here. This is Saturday, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We'll get some scattered rain showers. Nothing of any real significance on Saturday, but keep the raincoat handy. Might need the windshield wipers here and there. Sunday's probably the payoff. I think we'll see a decent amount of sun on Sunday. And temperatures will make a run at the mid to upper 50s. I think coastal areas have a decent shot of hitting 60 degrees. It's one of those downsloping days off the mountains. You get a little bit of a warm up. So we should see some slightly milder conditions move in on Sunday with brighter skies. And let's face it, at this point, we're going to need some sunshine. It's been a gloomy stretch of weather. All right, rain tracker, an additional inch of rain is possible for many areas, probably 3/4 of an inch to inch and a half of rain. Our greatest chance for getting more of that will be in the mountains, and to be more specific, on the eastern side of the ranges here, because you get that upslope component on the eastern side here. So it's not only the rain, but it's also the melting snow in these areas that produces problems in the more reactive rivers, like the Saco River, Conway, the Swift River at Roxbury. Those are the ones that are forecast to get into minor flood stage late morning and through the afternoon tomorrow. So we're going to keep an eye on those for you. For the rest of us, it's just more rainfall. Speaking of rain, tomorrow's rain to this point of the spring should take us to wettest on record for spring, going March 1st to April 12th. So that's an interesting stat. And going back for the year, right now we're the 7th wettest for the year to this point. And I think we'll be pretty close in 1979 with tomorrow's rainfall. If we pull ahead of 1979, that would put us in the number 3 spot for wettest year on record when you consider rain and melted snow, for Portland at least. And the number 1 spot is 1936. That was a big flood year, big flood year in the spring. It was not only Maine, but New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Connecticut, all these areas had major floods in a big spring flood in 36. The other one was number 2 spot is 1900. So these records go back a long way. They go back to actually 1871. So I think we'll be fighting. Let's see, 1979 for the number 3 spot by late in the day tomorrow. That's not a record you want. Hey, at least we're not talking about drought, I guess. Let's talk about wind for a minute. 7 a.m. tomorrow. Winds are gusting a little over 30 miles per hour. We'll get our peak wind gust. My guess, 35 to 45 miles per hour. Coastal areas should get up a little over 40 miles per hour, I think. Inland areas, it's not quite as windy. Probably winds gust 30, 35 miles per hour. And that's about 10 a.m. And the winds relax a little bit. They're still out of the south during the afternoon, but they'll be gusty. We'll get some drizzle and showers, but nothing of any real significance after the heavier rain and the strong winds. Those come together. Heavy rain and strong winds come together in the morning. So either rain overnight, fog, some drizzle from time to time, temps in the low to mid 40s. We should nudge the low 50s tomorrow. It's going to be a little bit warmer. It's not going to snow. Good news there. We're making baby steps back to spring. And the heaviest rain, again, will be during the morning hours. There's your 7-day. Saturday is far from perfect. My hope is we'll get some sunny breaks, still mostly cloudy. There'll be some showers that day, scattered. And Sunday, it might be a shower at night, especially over extreme southern Maine, New Hampshire. But partly sunny would pretty much be the rule Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. In that window, we should get a little bit of a warm up. If we can hold off of sea breezes, it's low to mid 60s are certainly possible. But big temperature swings are expected with light winds. We should have lows in the 30s and highs in the 60s. That's the kind of spring that I'm looking for here, where we start to get brighter skies. And yeah, some rain is possible with some showers, actually, I should say, on Thursday of next week. So let's go back here. Let's find a graphic. Those of you just joining us tonight, this is the heavy rain that's moving in tomorrow morning. It's between about 7 a.m. and about noon. That's your heaviest rainfall. Jeff wants to know why it's so bad. We're just in one of those patterns, Jeff. It's ugly, right? Hey, it was a couple of years ago. Everybody said it's never going to rain again. We're in a drought every year. That's not the case anymore. You're welcome, Barbie. Thanks for the nice words. Appreciate that. Yes, 40, 50, and 60 degrees. Yeah, I'm with you, James. 60 degrees next week will feel good. The temperature going to warm up in the daytime and cool. Yeah, right. It looks like next week we'll be in the probably low 60s, nighttime lows in the 30s. If we have clear skies and light winds at night, we'll get in the 30s. If we have a little bit of a breeze, we'll stay in the 40s. Yes, Klein, Sunday's the day. That's the payoff. We'll get there. We're searching for sun. Hey, Sandy, thank you very much. Appreciate the kind words. I'm excited for spring, too. It's funny. You see the daffodils starting to pop out here and there. I don't know. I seeded my tomatoes the other day. My daughter helped me, and put the seeds in the soil, and we have them by the wood stove right now, warming up. Peppers are in as well. I just recently started to get into peppers more, last couple of years, but we usually grow around 100 tomato plants, and tomatoes are usually our thing. But we had such a bad tomato year last year, so I'm kind of lackluster. I don't know what to think about this year, though. We'll see. The summer, as far as the weather goes, I think the summer's going to be hot and humid. I think it'll be a good growing year. But I feel like we were burned last year with all the disease, all the wet conditions. It was a tough year to garden. Klein says, bring on spring. I'm with you, bud. Let's do it. You're welcome, Myra. Thanks for checking in tonight. Trisha says she's thankful it's rain. Yeah, last week at this time, we were talking about the heavy, wet snow. And again, I'm on record for saying that storm destroyed more mailboxes than any storm probably in the last 50 years, maybe the last 100 years. You go inland just a little bit, you'll see what I mean. There's mailboxes down everywhere. The heavy, wet snow knocked it all down. And there's no question that's the worst tree damage since the ice storm in 98. And I've heard from officials talking with CMP saying there's even more tree damage, more line damage than the ice storm in 1998 in southern Maine. So it's that bad over inland parts of Maine for Sunday night and for Wednesday night, Thursday of last week. That storm was very heavy, wet snow. If you live over inland Maine, you know what I'm talking about. This branches down everywhere. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to clean all that stuff up. Hey, Brandon, mostly cloudy with a few scattered showers. 50s. Should get making the 50s. Jim says, no more rain with you. Hey, Kate, thank you very much. You went to the Pumpkin Festival. All right. I wonder what Pumpkin Festival. My guess it was the Damascotta Pumpkin Festival. I think a lot of the growers are getting ready to plant seeds next couple weeks. They're probably getting fired up to grow their pumpkins. We'll see. Should be a good year. Good year for growing. Mark my words. This summer is going to be hot, humid, a lot of hurricanes in the Atlantic, 2 tornadoes in southern Maine. Calling it right now. That's just a guess, but 2 tornadoes. Weak ones, nothing major. Will the lawn in Wilton ever dry out? No, Lisa, this is crazy, isn't it? If you have a dog, you know what I'm talking about. It's like there's just muddy paws all the time. That's just the way the spring's going. Anthony's done with the rain. Oh, man, I'm with you. Okay, all right, it's coming back, Kate. All right, you bought me a beer. Thank you very much. All right, that's awesome. I appreciate the kind gesture. All right, Damascotta Pumpkin Fest. I'm looking forward to that in October. Should be fun. I'm always there. We'll always have fun there. It's one of the best festivals around. All right, let's see here, Klein. I think I've answered everybody's questions tonight. Tonight's a quick and easy one. No major storms to talk about. Just, potentially a little bit of, could be some scattered outages in the morning tomorrow. That's something to keep an eye on. Heaviest rain, strongest winds, 7 a.m. to noon. After that, we're just left with drizzle. So it's a different type of rain. It's one of those weeks where we go from drizzle to showers to rain to heavy rain, back to drizzle, over to showers. So different types every day, but no sun. We'll get some sunny break Saturday, and I think Sunday's the payoff. We should be closer to 60 degrees. All right, we'll leave it at that tonight. Hope everybody has a nice night. Oh, before I let you go tonight, tomorrow is Big Wind Day. Who's excited for that? Tomorrow is the Mount Washington Observatory's 90th anniversary of the strongest wind recorded by man. All right. So I wish the folks at the Mount Washington Observatory a lot of fun celebrating tomorrow. It's one of those days. 90 years ago, April 12th, 1934, strongest wind, 231 miles per hour, was recorded up at the Mount Washington Observatory. So I think they'll have some fun with that tomorrow. And I think Emily Sampton will be doing a little story on that as well. So stay tuned tomorrow night. She'll be doing a story on that anniversary there. It was broken by Typhoon Olivia back in 96, I think. So 252 miles per hour, 253, can't remember. But the Mount Washington Observatory has the strongest wind recorded by man. I don't know. It's still a strong wind. All right. Have a nice night, folks. We'll leave it at that. Take care.
Live, interactive CBS 13 and Fox 23 Weather Authority coverage for your next main adventure has been sponsored by Rennie's.
Rennie's, a Maine adventure.
Make sure to stay connected.